Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 36 on double integrals. In this lecture we will do two more problems on evaluation of double integrals using polar coordinates. So let's start with first problem. Here we are asked to sketch the region of integration for this integral, and then we are asked to evaluate this integral by changing to polar coordinates. So here function which we want to integrate is constant function 1, and here order of integration is first with respect to y and then with respect to x. So these are the limits of variable y and these are the limits of variable x. So using these limits we will try to sketch the region of integration, and then we will convert Cartesian coordinates into polar coordinates, and we will find out limits of polar coordinates, and then we will evaluate this integral in terms of polar coordinates. So first we write down the given limits. Limits of Cartesian coordinates are from y equal to negative square root of a square minus x square to y equal to positive square root of a square minus x square, and x is from minus a to a. So these two we can write in a single expression as y equal to plus or minus square root of a square minus x square, and if we take square on both sides we have y square equal to a square minus x square, and that we can rewrite as x square plus y square equal to a square. So this is a circle with center origin and radius a, and these two are lines parallel to y-axis. X is minus a and x is a. So we have sketched the circle x square plus y square equal to a square. This is the circle with center 0 0 and radius a, and other two lines are x equal to minus a and x equal to a. So x equal to a line is the line parallel to y-axis passing through this point a0, and it will go parallel to y-axis. So this line is the line x equal to a, and x equal to minus a is the line intersecting circle at this point. So we can extend vertically on both sides. So this is the vertical line x equal to minus a. Now as we know, below x-axis value of y is negative. So if we consider our point in the lower on the lower part of circle, that is if we consider lower semicircle, then at all these points y will be equal to negative of square root of a square minus x square, and at the points which are above the x-axis, the points which are on the upper semicircle, at all these points y will be positive. So here y is square root of a square minus x square. So limits of integration are y is from negative of a square root of a square minus x square to y equal to positive square root of a square minus x square, and x is from minus a to a. So y is from this negative square root of a square minus x square, means our lower boundary for y is this lower boundary of circle or the boundary of lower semicircle, and upper curve is boundary of upper semicircle. So y is on this circle, whole circle we have to consider, and x is between minus a to a. So x starts from minus a and it goes up to this. So our region of integration is whole circle with center origin and radius a. So this is the example in which our region of integration is circle x square plus y square equal to a square. So this is our region of integration, and now we can find out limits of polar coordinates. And we know that we can if we consider x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta, this circle x square plus y square equal to a square has polar form r equal to a. So this is the circle given by r equal to a. Now to determine the limits of r, we consider a ray starting from origin and passing through the region of integration. So we can consider this ray in any part of the region, either in this part or in this part or in this part. So suppose we consider ray starting from origin and passing through the region of integration, then at this point value of r is 0. So ray enters the region at r equal to 0. At this point value of r is a, because this point is on the circle x square plus y square equal to a square, and polar form of this circle is r equal to a. So here we write that it leaves at r equal to a. So limits of polar coordinate r are from 0 to a. Now our region of integration is whole circle. So suppose we start from this point, then at this point value of theta is 0. Now to cover the remaining region, we have to go in this anti-clockwise or counterclockwise direction. So theta will increase here, theta will be pi by 2, then theta will be pi here, and here theta will be 3 pi by 2, and we have to come back to this point. So after completing full circle, value of theta will be 2 pi. So smallest value of theta is 0 and largest value of theta is 2 pi. Okay, we can understand in this way also. Suppose we consider this circle x square plus y square equal to a square. This is our region of integration. So to decide the limits of theta, suppose we start from theta equal to 0. So this is the smallest value of theta. Then to cover the remaining region, we have to imagine this type of rays. So here theta becomes pi by 2, then we go in this direction. So to cover the whole region, we will have to go up to this point, starting from theta equal to 0, and after completing one circle we have theta equal to 2 pi. So limits of theta are from 0 to 2 pi. So we have mentioned all these things. Limits of polar coordinates are from r equal to 0 to a, theta is from 0 to 2 pi, and this is the substitution for converting Cartesian coordinates into polar coordinates. X is r cos theta, y r sin theta, and dy dx is replaced by r dr d theta. So using all these things, this Cartesian integral becomes dy dx is replaced by r dr d theta. Limits of r are from 0 to a, theta is from 0 to 2 pi. So first we integrate with respect to r. So we consider this inner integral. Here we will consider theta as constant. Integral of r with respect to r is r square by 2. Limits of r are from 0 to a. So for upper limit we obtain a square by 2. For lower limit it is 0. So we have a square by 2 d theta. A square by 2 is constant, and integral of d theta is theta. Limits of theta are from 0 to 2 pi. So we have a square by 2 into 2 pi, and these two will cancel out and we obtain pi a square. So value of given double integral using polar coordinates is pi into a square. Okay, fine. So we consider one more example. Evaluate the following integral by changing into polar coordinates. here function is e raised to minus of x square plus y square, and order of integration is dx dy. So these are the limits of x and these are the limits of y. So first we have written limits of integration. Both the variables are having same limits. X is from 0 to infinity, y is from 0 to infinity. So if we consider the xy plane, y-axis is represented by x equal to 0. So x is starting from 0 and going up to infinity. So we have to consider this right half plane. Now on x-axis y equal to 0. So y is starting from 0 and going up to infinity. So this upper half plane satisfies limits of y. So the region which satisfies both the limits is the first quadrant of the xy plane. So our region of integration is unbounded region here. It is first quadrant of the xy plane, which we have shown here. Now as usual, to determine the limits of R, we imagine a ray starting from origin and passing through the region, as we have shown here. This is the ray starting from origin and passing through the region. Now region is unbounded, so there is no end for this ray. It will go or it will extend up to infinity. Now at this point value of R is 0 and there is no upper bound here, so we can say that it will leave the region at R equal to infinity. And for limits of theta, this is the smallest possible value of theta. It is theta equal to 0 and we have to go up to this point. So here theta is pi by 2. So limits of integration for variable theta are from 0 to pi by 2 and R is from 0 to infinity. So here we have written, imagine a ray starting from origin and passing through the region R as shown in above figure. The limits of polar coordinates are R is from 0 to infinity, theta is from 0 to pi by 2. And we use the substitution x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. Then as we know, dx dy is replaced by r dr d theta. X square plus y square will be equal to r square. So using all these things, our double integral in Cartesian coordinates converts in this polar integral. Here we put x square plus y square equal to r square. So we have e raised to minus r square. Dx dy is replaced by r dr d theta. Limits of r are from 0 to infinity. Theta is from 0 to pi by 2. So first we integrate this function with respect to r. So this is inner integral. Here we consider another variable theta as constant. Now to integrate this, we have to consider another substitution. Suppose we take r square equal to t, then 2r dr is dt. Therefore r dr is dt by 2. And when r is 0, t is 0. When r is infinity, t is infinity. So our integral reduces to e raised to minus t. We put r square equal to t and r dr is 1 by 2 dt. So now we will integrate with respect to t. This 1 by 2 is constant, so that we take outside the integral, and integral of e raised to minus t is minus e raised to minus t. Limits of t are from 0 to infinity. So first we put t equal to infinity. So we have minus e raised to minus infinity, minus minus plus e raised to 0. Now as we know, e raised to minus infinity is 1 over e raised to infinity, that is 1 by infinity, which is 0, and e raised to 0 is 1. So this is going to be 0 plus 1, that is 1, and we have 1 by 2, 0 to pi by 2 d theta. Integral of d theta is theta. Limits of theta are from 0 to pi by 2. So after putting limits of theta here, we have pi by 2 minus 0, that is pi by 2. So we have 1 by 2 into pi by 2, which is pi by 4. So the value of given double integral is pi by 4. So in this way we can use polar coordinates to evaluate some Cartesian integrals. It is very easy sometimes if we use polar coordinates and if we convert Cartesian double integral into polar double integral. So in all these problems we have observed one thing: whenever we have this type of quantity either in the limits or in the given function, it is better to switch to polar coordinates so that our integral becomes easy to evaluate. And we have used this substitution: x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta, and dx dy or dy dx is replaced by r dr d theta. Also we have used the region of integration, and to determine the limits of r, we are imagining a ray starting from origin and passing through the region of integration, and we decide the value of r at points at which this ray enters the region and leaves the region, and then we determine the smallest and largest value of theta which bound the region of integration. Okay, fine. So this is all about this session. I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.